Hi, this is George Sorrell. Welcome to the Route 6 Auto Show. You know, one of the things I hate the most is getting into my car and trying to start it and finding out the battery is dead. So today I'm glad to tell you that our show is about caring for and replacing your battery and starter. We're going to be talking a lot of important things for your starting system. Remember to refer to your owner's manual or shop manual for instructions. Hi Glenn, where do we begin?
Well, we're going to start with the battery today.
Okay.
First thing we should note is that, well, in this car the battery is located in the back here. We have two terminals on the battery, the positive, the negative. Positive leads through a battery cable to the solenoid. The negative leads to ground on the frame.
Okay.
Okay. You also have 6 cells in the battery where water is stored because this is a wet battery, not a dry battery.
Okay, what's the first thing we should do when we're cleaning this up, I guess?
All right, well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a tool, a wrench, and we're going to first off remove the tie down on the battery. Okay, the tie down is here so that the battery doesn't roll around when you're driving and get bumped around, so it stays real steady. I'm going to work on that one. I'll work on this one. And that's very important because you don't want the terminals to touch any other metal because it will short out the battery. Okay, so this just pulls right off of this one. Okay. And if we can...
There we go.
There we go. All right. Getting all that out of the way. First thing we're going to do is, you can see that there's corrosion on the end of this. What you want to do is you want to just knock the big stuff out of the way. All right?
All right.
What we're going to do first off is we're going to check the water levels in the battery.
All right.
Going to get a little screwdriver. We're going to pull off the battery caps. Now under each one of these caps is 3 cells. I'm going to clean this off so we don't get any of that inside. So you can see 3 cells in there, and inside there's a little water level line that you'll be able to see, and that tells you if it's full or whether your cells need water. Okay. Now, as you can see, you see where the line is?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, this battery has been taken care of because all the cells are full.
All right.
So we don't need to add any water to it. If you were going to add water, you would add distilled water.
Okay.
Because you don't want to put regular tap water in because of the impurities in the water.
So distilled water to fill it up. Okay.
Right. Whenever you're working on the battery, it's good to remove the terminals, the battery terminals, so that there's no electricity running through the engine. So that's what we're going to do at this point. Now on some cars, newer batteries have side mount terminals. So not all terminals are on the top. Some of them are on the side and they use a different wrench. And you won't be able to clean them like I'm going to show you here. Okay, on the negative, what we're going to do is we're going to grab a tool that they make for cleaning your battery terminals and your battery cables.
Okay.
Okay. This end, you insert it inside the battery terminal.
That's all you do is
You
scrape
rotate it.
Okay.
What it does is it scrapes off all the dirt and it cleans the connection so that it makes a good connection and you have fresh metal in it.
Okay.
The other end has some same type of thing but on the inside, and that you put the wires
right
down,
on top of the terminal?
Right on top, and you kind of screw it down, and it does the same thing.
Okay.
It'll take off all the dirt, and it'll give you fresh metal to make a real good connection.
All right.
Okay. And it's important to do this quite often so that they don't gum up on you, and especially in the winter. I mean, you don't want to be out here trying to start your car, and the only problem is you're not getting a good connection.
Okay.
All right. Now that we've cleaned those two, we have a lot of corrosion on this side.
All right.
So we're going to clean that a little bit differently. You take ordinary water from the tap, and you get some baking soda.
Okay, baking soda and regular tap water. Okay.
Tap water, and you mix it up, and you get a paintbrush or some foam brush, and what this will do This solution will clean your battery.
All right.
Okay, and you just tap it on.
Okay, now that's
foaming.
bubbling up.
Right.
There's no danger in that, or?
No, there isn't.
Okay.
And this will clean all the corrosion off your terminals. Okay.
Regular baking soda. Okay.
Yeah. And you can see how this is cleaned up real well here. You want to get it on the inside of the connection and everything. On side mount terminals, by the way, you won't have to do this because it uses an inside threaded screw that goes into the battery, and that's your terminal is basically inside your battery, and you won't have to. They usually don't corrode up on you.
Okay.
At least as much as these top mounts do. Now we're going to grab a rag, and we're going to wipe this off, get all the water off of it.
Okay, is there any danger in touching the terminals while you're doing it, or?
No.
Okay.
As you can see, that took almost all the corrosion off.
Right on.
There's still a little bit left, but what we would do is we would pull.
Maybe do the same thing we did on the negative.
Right.
Okay.
We're going to throw a little bit on your negative terminal just to clean up around the bottom connection here.
Okay.
The bottom of the post. To try to keep corrosion off, therefore still keeping it clean. All right.
Okay, so you use a battery
Terminal
cleaner.
Post and terminal cleaner.
Okay. Can you get this in any auto shop, or?
Any auto shop, a lot of your major department stores that have automotive sections will carry them. They're very inexpensive. Now what you want to do is you want to get some just plain water without baking soda in it, and just pour it over the battery to wash everything that you've cleaned off out of the way. Because if you get it on parts of the body, it's going to eat through the metal because it is a battery acid. So we're just going to douse the battery down with it.
Okay, got a rag here.
Great. Let's dry it off.
Dry that baby right off.
Okay. You want to also be very careful to keep your caps on your cells because you don't want any of your baking soda.
Oops, sorry there.
That's all right. You don't want any of the baking soda solution going inside because that will have a major effect. Because basically that's what this corrosion is, your battery acid that's down inside the battery.
Okay.
And if any of that gets in it, same thing will happen. It'll bubble up and you'll have real problems. Your battery will go bad on you.
Okay.
All right. Now if one of your terminals snaps off, or not, excuse me, one of your connectors snaps off,
what do you do?
Well, you can buy a whole new cable with the terminal on it.
Are those expensive?
No, they're not real expensive. You just have to buy the length that you're going to need. You know, you're going to have to measure it.
Okay.
Otherwise, what they have a replacement. And all you do is you strip down, you cut the wire, you strip it down. That's if you have enough length. And you can just replace a better terminal. These are only about $1.
Oh, okay.
And you can put a new connector on it, and that's fine.
Oh, okay. Sounds great.
Okay. Next, we're going to check each cell individually with a tester.
Okay.
Okay. What you want to do is you have to remove the caps again.
All right.
We're done cleaning. So you got that rag handy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rag. We're going to wipe off the top area there. Okay, with this, what you do is you stick it down inside the tube, and you draw up.
Oh, and it. Okay.
Until you see the level line. Okay, then hit the level line. And you have a reading scale on the side here. And there's a little pointer inside of there that points to whether it's good, fair, or needs recharging.
Okay.
Okay. Now that yours is reading in the good, you're reading on the high side.
All right.
In the good here, so that's good. We're gonna wipe that off.
All right.
And we're gonna do the next one. Now, there might be some variations between terminals, so you're going to have to watch for that. This, I'm a little above the fill line, so I'm going to put a little bit back. Okay, again, you're reading in the good here.
Okay.
On this. Now, if you have,
okay, if you have any, okay, what if it isn't reading in the good? What if it's reading in the recharge? What do you do?
In the recharge, well, it depends. If all of them are coming up in the recharge, that means the battery needs charging.
Okay.
Okay. Fair, you should be able to get away with it. It might not be a bad idea to put the battery charger on.
All right.
Now, it has a point scale on it that reads 0.13, which is the best, all the way down to 0.1. 1.1, excuse me. Now, if there is a difference between each cell of like 1.2, okay, if one is reading very good and one is reading very bad, in other words, that might call for changing your battery. All right, now we're gonna, to pull your battery out, you take the other connector off, and the battery will just lift out of place.
Okay, is there a specific kind of battery you should get, or?
Well, you should, buy. They come in with different cranking powers, what they usually call it, or amperage. And the higher the cranking power, the stronger the battery will be. With a 4-cylinder engine, I don't think you'll need that powerful of a battery as you would in a V8.
Okay.
We're going to put the other terminal back on now.
All right.
And see, that fits on real nice. It just slid right on because it's all cleaned up now and everything.
Okay.
And we're going to tighten it down. Now on these you got to be careful because they're made of a soft metal. And you don't want to over tighten it. You just want to firmly snug it up, and that should do it for you. We got the other side turning. I'm going to grab a wrench and hold that down. Okay. Now that we got that on, buying a battery when you go out, there are different kinds of batteries you can buy. There are maintenance-free batteries.
Okay, what do you mean by maintenance-free?
Your 6 cells are sealed off.
Oh, so you don't have to worry about filling them with water.
You'll never have to worry about filling it with water.
Sounds like a good idea.
And like I said earlier, there are side mount terminals. So you have to buy the appropriate one for your car. You can switch these, like this car, over to a side mount battery if you'd like. You just have to buy new cables for it.
All right, during the winter, some people, when their batteries don't start, they try jump starting. Is this safe? Is there any precautions they should take?
Yeah, the battery emits some gases from the battery acid and some fumes, so you have to be careful not to spark around the battery.
Okay.
You shouldn't be smoking either when you're doing something like this, because that'll ignite it as well. I'm going to grab some battery jumper cables here.
All right.
What you want to do, red is usually positive, black negative. And what you want to do is you want to hook up the positive side to the active battery, and then the positive side to the non-active battery. Okay?
Okay.
And they just
they fit on just like that.
clamp right on.
Oh, okay.
With the side mount terminals, they're a little more difficult
to
hook on, but they do usually sometimes come with little clips that will help aid you in the connecting of them. Once you have that done, then you connect the the negative side to the active battery, and then you want to, usually you ground the negative side on the dead car.
Okay.
Okay, you ground it to a piece of the body, to the frame, to the engine block.
Oh, all right.
Something like that.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can crank over the car after it's sat for a little bit.
Okay, now are we set on our maintenance on this battery?
We're set on the maintenance, but there is one more thing you can do instead of jumping a car when the battery's dead, and that's using a battery charger.
Okay.
Okay. It works off of AC, battery charger. You've got your charging unit here.
Okay.
Okay, we've got a little meter on it, and 6-volt, 12-volt switch.
Okay, now how do you...
This is a 12-volt battery.
Oh, okay. How did you know that?
Most of the larger car batteries are 12-volt.
Okay.
Okay? The meter on this reads how many amps are in the battery.
All right.
Okay. Now, you want to get it to the high side of the meter. So if you put on your battery charger, you got a dead battery. Red is positive. Looks just like the battery cables did. Black is negative. And the it'll read the amps. once you plug it in, excuse me, you have to plug it into AC.
Okay.
And this does take longer than jumping a car. You'll have to leave this on for a while. And your meter will tell you when it's charged up enough to start the car.
All right.
Now a car does, you know, you don't have to charge it up all the way because a car does charge itself up. You know, the battery will charge by going through the engine using the alternator.
Okay.
So you don't have to charge it up to peak. Although it would, you know, if you have the time, it would be good to get a, you know, to the maximum amount of charging.
Okay.
All right. And that's the battery charger.
All right.
All right, George. Now we're going to talk about the starter and the starting system, including the solenoid.
Okay.
And we're going to remove the starter, and we're going to show you how to bench check it. We'll also show you troubleshooting to see if your battery is bad, whether it's your solenoid or your starter. Okay, this is your starter relay or your solenoid.
Okay.
Okay. What happens here is when the battery is, when you try to start the car, and the electrical current goes from the battery to this relay, and that it's kind of like the relay is a switch that comes down and connects and makes the electrical current flow from here to the other side, and that goes down and engages the starter.
All right.
Okay. Now we're going to remove the positive battery terminal.
Okay.
Because when you're working on the car and on the starter, that's where the cable goes to after it goes to the solenoid. So if you remove that without removing the terminal, it's going to cause sparks.
All right.
So we're just going to loosen this up. Okay.
Can you give me that?
And this by the way is the Mercury LN7 that we're working
Just
on.
where do I put this, anywhere?
Well, yeah. Now that the battery is disconnected, so there's no longer any current going through.
All right.
So it doesn't matter if it touches metal or anything. You just want it tucked off to the side.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Glenn, can you explain to me how a starter works?
Sure. Once the relay has been told to let the electrical current go through to the starter, that's at the solenoid, the current activates a starter gear, which is in the starter.
Okay.
And that is a gear with teeth on it, and it connects up with the flywheel in the car. Okay, and they mesh. It's two gears coming together. The flywheel has notches, and they go in and they mesh, and the starter turns the flywheel, which in turn turns the crankshaft and gets everything, you know, the engines, the pistons and everything working.
All right.
Okay, and then once you pull back on the ignition out of the start position to the on position, that then disengages the starter from going, and the relay comes back to its closed state.
Okay.
What we're going to do right now, George, is pull the starter out. And the first thing you notice is that this starter is held on by a bracket.
Okay.
Okay, there's one nut that we have to remove, or excuse me, two nuts that we have to remove in order to get the bracket off. And then we're going to have to go to the other side and pull the bolts on that side.
Okay.
Now, this is only one way starters are hooked up to the engine. There are other different kind of mounting systems. So this is basically only for this particular car. Alright, we got that one. And let's get this one.
Is there different types of, are they bolts under there metric or?
I mean, it depends on the year car that you have. The older cars won't have metric. The newer cars most likely will. This car we are using metric.
Okay.
We'll get this. There we go. Now we just removed the bracket.
All right.
Okay. Now the starter's free on this side. And now we're going to go to the other side.
All right.
Get the other bolt. Okay, now we're on the other side, and we have three nuts here that we have to remove to disconnect the starter from the engine block.
Okay.
And we'll get this one here. We also have two wires that we have to disconnect. So we'll get this first the three bolts out. Okay. Now remember, when you're working underneath the car, not to work under the car just supported by a bumper jack. We've got a hydraulic jack underneath the car today, as well as blocks supporting it.
Okay. Is it good to wear any type of safety glasses? Or?
Yeah, I like to wear safety glasses when underneath the car because that way, if debris falls down, it doesn't get in your eye. Okay, we'll get this one. Okay, now we're going to remove the bracket. There we go. Get it out of the way. And we've got a few more bolts underneath here. They have to come off.
All right.
Okay.
That one was a little tough.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. You got to be careful with the bolts when you're working underneath the car because they get rusty. And if you try to apply too much pressure to them, they might snap. You might snap it off.
Could you use some like
liquid wrench or oil, penetrating oil.
Okay.
Would be good to work with here. You know, especially the bolts that haven't been removed, like a starter. You know, you don't remove those bolts every time you do maintenance on a car. Alright, now we got to pull a cable off that's hidden on the top of the starter.
Alright.
And that is the cable that comes down from the solenoid.
Okay.
And that is a nut and a post at the, kind of like the solenoid. Where the nut holds the connector down onto the starter there. Okay, I think we got that now. And here it goes. And the starter's out.
Okay, Doug, you're going to show us how to bench test the starter?
That's right, George. You need three things to bench test the starter. The starter itself, a pair of good jumper cables, and a battery.
Okay.
First thing you want to do is connect the battery cables to the battery. And make sure that these two cables are not touching each other.
Okay, so they're apart right there.
Red is positive, black is negative.
Okay.
The frame for the starter is ground, so whatever you touch that on, that'll be ground.
All right.
We'll use this extension right here where the bolt goes. We could also use this bolt here where the bracket goes. It doesn't really matter. That would be better. Might be better. Right there. And right here is your positive lead.
All right.
Now many starters are different. Sometimes they have posts sticking right out of the side, and that's where you touch. But on this one, it's there. We go ahead and we just touch it quickly under there.
Okay.
Because if you do it slowly, it won't work quite right.
All right.
What you're looking for is to see if the starter jumps out and spins.
Okay.
Now see, the starter must be fried.
All right.
It's just not working.
Okay.
So, what you want to do is you take your starter to your a starter repair store or a shop where they fix alternators and starters, or you can just buy a rebuilt one.
Okay, I was going to say there should be a problem. There might be a problem where you can't fix a starter, or would you have to get a new one, or?
Well, new ones, brand new starters cost between $90 and $100, or maybe even more.
All right.
The best thing to do is to get a rebuilt starter. Used starters are certainly no good. If you get one off a used car, they've been sitting for a long time. Maybe they've been as abused as this one, and they're on the way out.
Okay.
The best thing to do is to either have the one you have rebuilt, or get a rebuilt one.
All right.
And they cost between $30 and $45.
Okay.
And that's about it.
All right, thanks a lot.
Sure.
Bye. Well, that's it for today's show. We hope you found it informative and interesting. Remember, the problems we discuss in the show come from the problems that most people have with their own car. If you have any questions or comments about the show, please write us. We'll try to help you out. Well, for myself and Glenn Seelig, we'll see you next time on Route 6 Auto Show.